In a move that is already sending shockwaves through the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles have announced the acquisition of superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill, marking what many are calling the biggest signing in the franchise's storied history. Hill, widely regarded as one of the fastest and most explosive players in the league, joins the Eagles after a remarkable stint with the Miami Dolphins, and his arrival is being hailed as a game-changing moment for a team already on the cusp of greatness. The deal, reportedly involving a massive financial commitment, underscores the Eagles' determination to win now. Philadelphia has consistently been in the playoff conversation over the past few seasons, but the addition of Hill elevates their offense to an entirely new level. Known as the Cheetah for his unmatched speed, Hill brings a unique threat to opposing defenses, one that forces coverage schemes to adjust and often crumble. His ability to turn short passes into long gains and stretch the field with deep routes will perfectly complement quarterback Jalen Hurts' dual threat style. And the team's dynamic offensive system. Fans and analysts alike are already buzzing about what this means for the Eagles' Super Bowl aspirations. With Hill lining up alongside elite talents such as A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, Philadelphia now boasts one of the most formidable receiving corps in the league. Head coach Nick Sirianni will have no shortage of options when crafting game plans, and defensive coordinators across the NFL are undoubtedly scrambling to find answers. Tyreek Hill's signing isn't just a personnel move, it's a statement. It signals that the Eagles are all in, that they're willing to make bold moves in pursuit of a championship. For a city that lives and breathes football, this is more than just a headline. It's hope. Hope that the Lombardi Trophy might once again find its way back to Philadelphia. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video. The Las Vegas Raiders didn't waste any time shaking up their roster after rookie minicamp. We're talking about a handful of new signings that might not make huge headlines, but if you look closer, they reveal a lot about the team's current mindset. 6 new players were added, which might seem like just another off-season shuffle, but when you stack that up with the 12 recent changes, counting both exits and arrivals, it's clear there's more going on behind the scenes. Today, I'm going to walk you through why these moves happened, how they fit into the bigger picture, and what they tell us about the direction this team is heading. Spoiler alert, it's not just about filling out a 90-man roster. There's a strategy here, even if it's not flashy. Let's start with the linebacker addition, because that one caught my eye for several reasons. First off, I found out about it on Mother's Day, and yeah, it threw me off a bit. At first, my gut reaction was that this might point to struggles among the existing linebackers, maybe injuries, maybe underwhelming performances. But the more I looked into it, the more it became clear that this move wasn't about panicking over current guys. It was about recognizing that certain players just weren't cutting it and making space for someone who aligns better with what this coaching staff wants. Now, when you talk about the Raiders staff, you have to understand how much they value relationships. This isn't a group that randomly picks names off a list. The linebacker they brought in had already worked with key figures from the Raiders coaching staff back in 2021 with a different team, and then again in 2023 with the Raiders themselves. That familiarity matters. You're not just getting a guy who knows the playbook. You're bringing in someone who already understands the culture, the expectations, the nuances of how this coaching staff operates. And it doesn't stop there. Another defensive coach currently with the Raiders also worked with this player in a previous organization, creating another layer of connection. This trend of tapping into established relationships is no coincidence. It's a deliberate strategy. If you look deeper into how the Raiders are building their defense, you'll notice a pattern. Another key member of the defensive staff, someone who served as a defensive coordinator in 2023, had direct ties to this player. So now you have multiple coaches vouching for him, multiple points of contact in his career, all converging in Las Vegas. Add to that yet another coach from that same prior organization who has joined the Raiders, and you start to see how these webs of connections are influencing personnel decisions. This isn't just scouting by the numbers. This is about bringing in guys who fit a specific mold that the staff already trusts. Beyond the coaching ties, there's another angle to this linebacker signing that deserves attention. The idea of rehabilitation. We've been hearing that word thrown around a lot this offseason, especially regarding players who missed time and are now looking for redemption. In this case, we're talking about a linebacker who's 29 years old, someone with experience, but perhaps still with something left to prove. The question becomes, can this defensive coordinator recreate the kind of comeback story we've seen before? The player himself has been through the grind. He's played in 88 games, started a respectable number of them, and racked up 626 tackles. Those are serious numbers. So when the Raiders look at a guy like this, it's not about wishful thinking. It's about calculated risk. They're betting that with so many unknowns among the younger linebackers, bringing in a veteran to raise the competition level is a smart play. Speaking of younger linebackers, let's not overlook the fact that this position group is filled with inexperience. Going into rookie minicamp, the Raiders had a mix of players trying to earn their spot, but truth be told, only a handful seemed capable of sticking around. This veteran signing isn't just about depth. It's about pushing those young guys, making them fight for every rep. Iron sharpens iron, right? And sometimes the best way to light a fire under someone is to bring in a player who's been there, done that, and is still hungry. What makes this particular veteran even more valuable is his leadership. He wasn't just another guy on a roster in college. He was a team captain at a prestigious university. He also held that captaincy with another team in the NFL, which speaks volumes about how he's perceived in locker rooms. Leadership, work ethic, accountability. These are qualities that don't show up on the stat sheet, but are crucial for a team trying to establish a strong culture. When you combine that with his past relationships with the coaching staff, the signing makes even more sense. It fits perfectly with what the Raiders have been aiming for since the draft. Bringing in high-character individuals who can help lay the foundation for the next 2 to 3 years. Now, if we're being brutally honest, not every signing is about securing a spot on the final 53-man roster. This linebacker in particular was likely brought in more for what he represents than what he's expected to produce statistically. He's there to elevate the standard, to create urgency among the younger guys. Sometimes cutting a player that many thought had a shot is a powerful message. It wakes people up. It tells the entire locker room that nothing is guaranteed. That's exactly what this signing does. It serves as a wake-up call. So, no, I don't expect this player to make the final roster. I'll say it straight. I'd be surprised if any of the 6 recent signings end up on that 53-man list. But that doesn't mean these moves are pointless. Far from it. They serve a different, equally important purpose, fostering competition, testing depth, and sending clear signals about what this coaching staff expects from its players. Next player we need to talk about is a former safety from a big-name university. This one flew under the radar because it came shortly after another more high-profile signing. To be fair, I hadn't heard much about him until this news dropped, unless you count the games from his college days. He had a workout with the Raiders over the weekend and got signed officially on a Sunday, with the news breaking the next day. Now, if you're looking for NFL stats, you won't find any. He spent 5 years at his university, mostly playing as a safety and contributing on special teams. His numbers don't jump off the page, but again, that's not the whole story. What makes this signing logical is very similar to the linebacker move: leadership and work ethic. This player was a 4-time captain at Penn State, which is no small feat. In fact, only he and quarterback Sean Clifford hold that distinction in the school's history. Being a captain 4 years in a row tells you everything you need to know about how his coaches and teammates view him. He might not have the eye-popping stats, but he's the kind of guy who shows up, does the dirty work, and leads by example. Those are the players who build your special teams unit, who bring stability to the locker room, even if they don't make highlight reels. In 2023, he had a stint with the Seahawks practice squad, though he never saw regular season action. Still, that experience matters. It shows he's been in professional environments, learning systems, absorbing the demands of the NFL. And for a team like the Raiders looking to revamp both their linebacker group and special teams, bringing in a guy like this is a smart depth move. It adds competition, it adds professionalism, and it gives younger players someone to model their approach after. There's also a practical element here. The Raiders' safety room is dealing with inexperience and uncertainty. Instead of chasing after a big-name free agent who might not fit the budget or the scheme, the team opted for a more calculated approach. Bring in someone who understands his role, who can be a key contributor on special teams, and who might surprise people if given the chance. That's exactly the case with his signing. The same logic applies to the other players the Raiders added. Jafari Harvey, Crone Jackson Jr., Keshan Smith, and Wesley Steiner. Each of these guys brings something specific to the table, even if they're not household names. Take Jafari Harvey, for example. He's a versatile defensive lineman who had solid production at SMU. Not only can he rush the passer with 7.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles, but he also has the ability to drop back in coverage. That kind of flexibility is gold for a team looking to bolster special teams and add depth across the defense. His 40-yard dash time of 4.64 seconds might not be elite, but it puts him in the 89th percentile, showing he's got the speed the Raiders covered. And then you look at the receivers they brought in, guys from Baylor and Miami, and it becomes clear the Raiders are targeting specific traits: size, speed, and the ability to stretch the field. With receivers standing over 6'3" and averaging nearly 20 yards per catch, the Raiders are addressing a need to diversify their receiving core. They're not just adding bodies, they're bringing in players who can attack defenses vertically, forcing opponents to respect the deep threat and opening up space for other playmakers. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, legendary quarterback Tom Brady has officially said yes to joining the Las Vegas Raiders. The announcement, made earlier today, has fans and analysts scrambling to understand the implications of this monumental decision. After months of speculation and swirling rumors, Brady's commitment to the Raiders confirms one of the most sensational transitions in recent football history. Brady, widely considered the greatest quarterback of all time with 7 Super Bowl titles under his belt, had previously retired twice. His return to the NFL was already the stuff of legend, but aligning himself with the Raiders brings an entirely new chapter to his storied career. At 47 years old, Brady remains a symbol of excellence and discipline, and his decision to join Las Vegas is seen not just as a competitive move, but a strategic one, perhaps even personal. Sources close to the situation suggest that Brady was swayed by his previous connections with Raiders owner Mark Davis and head coach Antonio Pierce. There's also speculation that Brady's growing business interests in Las Vegas, including a minority ownership stake in the franchise, played a key role in his decision. The NFL, still reviewing that potential ownership deal, now finds itself navigating uncharted territory. A player potentially returning to the field while holding a stake in his own team. Fans in Las Vegas are ecstatic, with ticket demand already surging within hours of the announcement. Brady's presence is expected to elevate the entire franchise, not only in terms of performance, but also in national relevance and marketability. Meanwhile, critics question whether even Brady can resurrect a team that has struggled with consistency in recent years. One thing is certain: Tom Brady's return to the gridiron, wearing silver and black, will be must-watch football. The 2025 NFL season just became a whole lot more exciting. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.